Hi, my name is Cindy, and today is Mother's Day, 2013, and it is also the anniversary, 4-year anniversary of my mother passing away, and it is the 3-year anniversary of what psychologists call a spiritual emergence. And I wanted to do the video for a few reasons. One, the 3-year anniversary of spiritual emergence. 2, to express appreciation for the video series on YouTube, Bipolar or Waking Up, and to hopefully encourage Christians that might go through a spiritual emergence, or anyone that goes through a spiritual emergence. A spiritual emergence is basically a more intense experience of a spiritual awakening. And I grew up in, well, it is the breaking down of reality as what I thought it was. And I grew up in a household where both parents were depressed. Both of them, by the time they were 40, were on antidepressants. They were on antidepressants sometime during their 30s. I was negative, fearful, low self-esteem, insecure, low other esteem. I was very afraid of others. I was defensive and isolating, and I was gaining weight. I was eating like crazy. I've gotten into a self-help group and have lost 70 pounds over the last 3 years, and actually 4 years, and have made a lot of headway. I have changed dramatically, henceforth going back to issues with having reality sort of dissolve as I understood it. Bipolar or Waking Up gave me a lot of encouragement about people who had experienced that. A couple years down the line were saying it was the best thing, exactly what I'm saying now, best thing that ever happened, and well overdue. I got into the program for eating, and I started working with a sponsor, started attending 4 meetings a week, hence my isolation dropped out, was doing writing assignments, meeting with a sponsor outside of the 4 meetings, and just started, especially when it got to the inventory. You do an inventory of myself rather than what I was thinking of everyone else. And I started seeing for the first time, was not just going quickly over what was maybe a slight problem with me. I was really looking at it, and I started thinking, this is not what I want, and it's probably not reality. And so through the whole time though, I was praying for change, praying that God take me out of where I was. I was extremely unhappy and just clinically depressed. And then I started experiencing a manic episode, like what bipolar people experience, and I didn't know it, and I thought I was going insane for a little bit. I did stay away from a clinical appointment where, you know, with a psychiatrist for a year. That was my first anniversary. I went to see a psychiatrist who basically said, yes, it's what you think it is. It's a complete rebuilding of yourself, and you had some reality collapses. And it, you know, I just want to say for those people that were on bipolar and waking up and saying it, you know, it's just the beginning. You know, if you're having this experience, it's just the beginning. And I felt it was time 3 years later that I take my turn at saying to someone who's at day 1, it's just the beginning. And it's the best thing that I ever did. I had, you get diagnosed with possibly hypomania, low grades of mania. At the beginning stages, I was having difficulty sleeping, like no sleep. I was having difficulty concentrating. I knew that I needed to go to school, and was not able to enroll myself in one of the classes until like at 2 years, my 2-year anniversary. Well, I'll talk about that later. It was basically that I got into a school and started pursuing more of my financial goals. And it has just been wonderful. And it's been exactly what I needed. And I wanted to go through some of that manic experience. Can be a little, not only because of the loss of sleep and the inability to concentrate, stay on schedule. The other thing that I experienced was the levels of what Greek definitions of love. And the top the Bible talks about is agape love, and it's referred to as unconditional love. And I just had love, that passion that was pouring out of me, and I didn't need to have anyone around. I didn't need to be doing anything. I was just in exaltation. There is what's called, I think it's storge or storge love. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. That's called parental affection. And I experienced intense hypersensitivity to all senses, visual stimuli, tactile stimuli, auditory music stimulus, and smell and taste. It just sent my brain exploding, and I equate that with the parental affection, the passion that comes out of holding your baby and being affectionate with your family, that touch. The lower love below that is called phileo love or phileo love, and it's the brotherly love. It's tolerance, acceptance. I think of it as some wisdom. I've got a little bit of wisdom in dealing with others and being more patient. The final is eros love. And eros love is a carnal love. And it is the one love that I started thinking as a Christian, I should not have that. And so I was praying against the experience, really intensely against it, because it was wrong. I think anyone who sort of has this, take a good sense of humor, and understand that it just gets tied, everything gets tied in, and you can end up experiencing it all. And just don't be afraid of the changes that seem to come. Intense, hard, and confusing. It's okay. It all slows down. I do these, my first year, like I said, I went to see a psychiatrist. I also put in a testimony to some depression something on a website, and I wrote a little testimony. The second year I went back to school. I was sleeping again and able to concentrate. I did great in school, took one of the medical billing courses, and this year I am doing this video, and it's pretty much been a yearly assessment to see how I've grown and how I've come down, and how I have been delivered from depression, 3 years, and just changed. And so yeah, it's the best thing. Another thing to maybe discuss is the internal changes can make a person feel like they are under some kind of dire danger. And it's a death of what I was. And I kept expecting something to come and just take me away and just destroy me. And I didn't understand what it was, and I had that going on. So that was another thing that I was praying about was, you know, whatever is, and as a Christian, a good Christian, it was Satan, of course. But nothing ever happened, nothing ever materialized. It was fine. And that also, you know, if you know someone that's going through this, or you're going through this, you may want to listen to that, because there can be an experience where you're just way over intense. And with all of the feelings of new hope and feelings of power and competence and deliverance and a new life, I've seen indications of just a feeling where everything I do and say is from God, and no one should stand or say anything other. And I've seen that on some of the sites, and you will tick people off. If you're dealing with someone like this, you may, just so that you'll know, and we can be convincing. We can be convincing that you have to pour yourself into the children's programs, the music programs, you have to do things, and I'm getting, it is from God's will, and so a person going through these intense changes can be a little on the irritating side if they don't want to understand that the battle that they're going at is really internal, and the changes in development within themselves that maybe they're not really looking at, and they're seeing it as an external battle to form up against and rise up and take over with power. And so we can be frustrating at times, and you may have difficulty getting them to accept that everything they do, say, and think is not directly from God. So that's my video that I wanted to do in appreciation for all of the people who were expressing, that change is dramatic, but that it is absolutely wonderful. Thank you.